Well, this is Nikki Devon, and I'm here for a second time today, but this time with Dee Smith. And Austin and I involved in many things, including the Bond Election Advisory Task Force, for a special bonus episode sponsored by Tecovas called Walk a Mile in Their Boots. It's Wednesday, May 21st. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here today with Dee Smith, community connector and voter motivator and all-around amazing, incredible human. Hi, Dee.
Hi, how you doing, Nikki? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. I like to call you the impromptu mayor of Austin.
Because no, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. I have not lived my life accordingly. Thank you very much.
Everybody just loves you. Everybody loves you. And there's a reason. So I'm glad we're talking to you. You are involved in a lot of different things. And community seems like it's like at the heart of it all. You know what I mean? Like it seems like that is where your drive comes from, is connecting people and creating community. I have met some of my favorite people through you. And also I met you through some of my favorite people. And so
that's exactly right.
How do you describe your community in Austin? Like, what does it mean to you to be here?
I will say this. When I first moved to Austin, which was 2011, Austin was like on its surface a friendly place, but I felt lonely here. And so then... Yeah,
I hear that. I've been hearing that a lot, though. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. And it could be because I am Black and female and bald-headed and have large feet. And people are like, what is this foreign thing? I think, having stayed in the house, being a hermit for, I don't know, maybe 7 years or so.
Wow.
When I came out of that, when I came out of the house, I was hungry for community, and most importantly, I wanted to understand how this community works, because when I heard about community and any sort of others, that's my people, whoever counts themselves as other. It just seemed like none of the others were doing well ever. And that's all the way back to the 1928 master plan. And so I think it is, at a DNA level, I'm just a nosy person. And I want to understand things I see with my eyeballs. Once I got out of the house, and I'm going to say, I don't know, Nikki, it might have been 2020. If I came here in 2011, It might have been 2020-ish. Wow. Yeah, don't say wow. I know I'm an elder stateswoman. You ain't got to know
that long before you came out of the house. That's what I'm talking about.
But just like, really, can you imagine that you can have imposter syndrome at the community level?
Oh, I absolutely do. Yeah.
Okay. So that part where you're like, is it okay to be here? Is it okay to wonder? Is it okay to have questions? Is it okay to not know things that people from here or who have been here a long time already know? So came out the house, the Ali program, the African American Leadership Institute, was really critical in me just getting a lay of the social space, the community space, to just understand some parts of the history. And then I just started involving myself in stuff. Becoming an appointee on the African American Resource Advisory Commission was huge. And in that space, you're just listening.
Yeah.
Like, you're just listening. But then I got it in my craw. I was like, okay, listening is not enough. What action can be taken in response to what people are coming here for? They didn't come here to just do their little 3-minute speech.
Exactly.
Hands sweating. What facilitates or what impedes action? And then that is what feeds into you seeing me all the places, all the time. And I know people are like, who is this broad? She is just here. Does she work? Like, what? Why is she here?
It's mysterious, honey. That's why it's wonderful. I'm a lure. This is what's happening. This is called a lure.
Okay. All right. Let me get that tattoo. Yeah.
So, okay. Speaking of which, give us a brief overview. How would you describe your work in Austin, and why is it so important here?
Okay. So let me take it all the way back. I do actually work. Like I have to eat and I need shelter. And that is an ongoing thing that all people who are adults need to solve, right? We
Yeah.
all need to fend for ourselves in this wild, wild world. So as my day job is in tech operations, meaning I am, and I say this all the time, I'm like the Kelly Rowland of somebody else's Beyonce for customer support.
I
No,
love
because
that.
I'm
I
never
love
like,
that.
yeah, I'm never quite getting all the wind from the wind machine, but I don't actually care because I'm over here trying to give you the
Yeah, getting
alto,
it
trying to bring in
done,
the
getting the
harmonies.
support done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm support for support, but I think what's important is that orientation. Then when I show up in community, I'm fine serving on a board. You're not going to see me being the face of the thing, but what you can be sure of is be it a commission, be it a board seat, I'm going to ask all of the questions that God ever sent to somebody's mind because I want, no, because what you're not going to do, I'm not going to volunteer and not make that time
Yeah.
productive. That has led to appointments with Councilmember Harper Madison, starting with the African American Resource Advisory Commission. And then that rolled into, I think once I had a reputation with her and her team as a person who does show up, that consistency, I believe, created a reputation. And so now I'm a member of the board for the Millennium, which is a joy
Wow.
and just filled with
Listen.
discoveries. There are many things to discover. And I'm also on the board of the Safe Alliance.
Oh, are you still on the bond advisory committee?
I am. Why did I forget that one? That's the newest one, and that's hard, and I feel shy as hell. I feel shy. Yes, 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 yes. The Bond Election Advisory Task Force. I need you to get the name
I'm
right,
sorry,
Nikki.
Bond Election Advisory Task Force.
BTIF.
What does it do? Why is it important?
So it's a lot of really smart people. And when I say smart, they have deep experience first in serving on different, well, they have previously served on bond task force before. And what I am learning is that there's a lot of work that goes into recommending projects that move forward for bond funding consideration. Even though 2026 is the year that the bond will be considered, it is taking time now for us to meet and hear from the various city departments about like their criteria for prioritizing projects being proposed, for us to get a sense of just the projects that need funding. And there are these moments where a different flavor of imposter syndrome kicks in because many of the people who are also serving on the task force, the areas that they speak on, it's their day job. And so I feel like I'm learning a lot of new lingo and
Wow.
I'm just there for community.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yep, I'm going to ask a regular person question. I'm going to ask you, sometimes I'm asking department presenters not to use lingo. I'm looking at what's being presented. I'm also asking about historically underfunded things. Like last meeting, I was asking about funding for the Carver and trying to get more clarity there. So, I count myself as a regular old person asking regular old person questions because sometimes those matter too.
I mean, they always matter. Who else is going to ask those questions? Because not everybody has access to those spaces to ask those questions. Now I'm curious. Politicians come and go, but civilian people, regular ass people, willing to
You said civilians.
like
Okay,
regular
yeah.
ass
Okay.
people, like everyday people like us, or be it as spectacular as we are. How important is it for us to be working on these city committees?
It is so important. And another, thing that is central to my identity is being a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And
Hey,
we talk about this all, we talk about it a lot about the importance of work to be done consistently going beyond voting. And if you have the bandwidth and it's on your heart and the capacity and the willingness, getting on boards of all stripes, commissions of all stripes, be that at the city level, be it for school districts, that representation matters, because what I now understand as a adult of a very grown age is where you think decisions are being made, they probably have been made three
Already.
steps earlier.
Exactly. That was a hard lesson for me
Yeah,
when I started
yes.
working for the city. It was a hard lesson.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, that's not, that's not what the textbook
That's not what I
said,
thought was
or
happening.
that's all I'm saying. The machinations and the strategery, girl. What kind of strategic?
What is happening? What page are we on? I'm clearly on the wrong page.
Yeah.
Along those lines, how can we make it easier for people to participate? I mean, starting with understanding what a bond is. What do you think that biggest challenge is? Is it the wording? Is it the semantics of things and it not being understandable?
No. So I think there are many things running at the same time, right? Like there's a regression equation to this, right? And so I think the way things are languaged is just one aspect of the complexity. I think another aspect that we can do something about is building relationships. There are the need for relationships. Like I, as an Austin outsider, what I now understand and have been told, it doesn't matter how long I live here or how much rent I pay or how much tax I pay on anything. They're like, girl, you are not from here. You could not you could not swing on this swing set. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I'm still going to be the creepy kid. I'm like, but we're still hanging out. And so I will figure out what my place is, because we have to build trust and build relationships so that if I do learn something that is actionable by somebody or some organization that is not me or mine, when I tell you it and when I express it with urgency, then you can hear it. So the relationships matter, but that also takes additional time, Nikki. Like, what if I just want to watch Netflix and sleep? You're like, that is the past, girl.
You're speaking my language now. This is look this new era of rest. I do not know her. I do not know her. I'm trying to introduce myself to her, but who has the time? Who has the time?
I am not a Victorian woman with a blanket over my knees being fed whatever Victorian people ate with ostrich feathers in my hat. That is just not my calling. And so, you have the work I requested, the work I'm grateful for, right? In the case of the Bond Election Advisory Task Force, I asked for that.
Among the things that you are involved in, you've been a member of Delta Sigma Theta since college. And I just really quickly, for anybody that's listening that maybe does not know, what do the Deltas do here in Austin?
When you think of Delta, so there's the Divine Nine, which are Black Greek letter organizations. And in just talking to people of all stripes, all colors, all types in the world, often people are surprised that there are alumni chapters, which is post-college, and that the alumni chapters, particularly ours, we are about service. We are about social action. We have a powerful social action committee registering people to vote, having community forums, but we also have like a 5-point programmatic thrust. And so educational development matters, economic development. We just recently had a workshop on like getting finances together and home ownership and things like that. International awareness and involvement. Service is it's our identity. And this has been the case since 1913 when we were established at Howard University. My mom was also a Delta.
Wow.
And she pledged in 1961 at the Grambling University in Louisiana.
Grambling. Come on, Grambling.
When I tell you about this concern for our community and the wellness of our community and the thriving of our community and the success and resilience of our community, it was who my mother was. And I know Delta was a manifestation of that.
Yeah.
And so when I was of age, I needed a support system to remind me that it wasn't about me. And particularly once you get a degree, I can't be brunch girl. Like I can't just get my fedora hat and just, carry my puppy around. Nikki, stop. You're going to stop immediately.
As a brunch girl that often wears a hat and carries her dog around, what I will say to other brunch girls is that you can do both. You can do both. It can't be the only thing.
You might can.
I feel the same way. It can't be the only thing.
Yes.
I can't. Being cute and walk around cannot be the only thing that I give back. So, okay, before we go, let's walk a mile in your boots. What does a regular day look like for you here in Austin?
So this day, here we go. This day started with me opening my eyes at 4:45 a.m.
What?
Because, bro, working out is important to me.
Okay.
And when you have different evening things or you want to be available in the middle of the day for board meetings and things, you got to figure out how to squeeze in some health. So I did my workout from 6 to 7. And Nikki, don't grab your neck.
I'm clutching my pearls. 4:45 is so early.
Well, you just got to get your thoughts together. And mind you, I'm a monster. Like, I need very much coffee to be here with you right now because everything in me wants to slide out the chair. But we got to be Shaka Khan's every woman a little bit.
A little bit.
Because, honey,
it's all in me.
Yeah, well, these arteries are not going to open themselves.
That's true.
Okay?
Okay.
So, thank you. Okay, so that was this morning. And then we do our work day. We start about 9:30. This is after quad coffee. Where the girl's going to have her espresso. It shoots my blood pressure up a little bit. I'm working on that part. We do the work day. What does that mean? I have my little meetings virtually. Everything is virtual. None of the people in my company work in this town very much, or there might be 3, but we don't see each other. So I'm in my house. My dog is chewing on one foot, and I am writing sometimes. I'm in meetings or leading meetings. And then if the day involves something where I need to change locations to get down to City Hall, I'm just communicating with my boss, who was wildly supportive of me having my whole life. And you know how they used to be like
work-life balance.
Balance? That's trash.
Yeah. No.
That's trash. So my life is imbalanced in a way I want it to be. But I'm just allowed to say in advance and make plans and get my work done in a way that lets me get to meetings for any of the organizations that matter to me.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about living in Austin?
You know what? This is going to sound a little bit strange. So in terms of legislation, I don't always feel the safest here, but I do feel safe in terms of the city proper. And I know that we have crime, but you have to understand I moved here from Baltimore, Maryland, and I love Baltimore, Maryland. I loved everything about it. I loved my neighbors, but it was a city where you needed to know where your pocketbook was all the time. And your neck needed to be on a swivel, and you needed to have a mean mug. I think that's why I want people to smile at me and make eye contact.
You spent so many years mean mugging.
Baltimore wasn't the safest environment. And so I just remember there was a certain level of stress I didn't even realize I had until I moved to Austin. Somebody told me something when I first moved here. They're like, watch out for 12th and Chacon. And now, especially now that the east side is much safer seeming. I was like 12th and Chacon. I was like, compared to Baltimore, Maryland, I'll go ahead and take my chances.
Stand right on that corner. Listen.
I'm not bothering anybody, but that's wild work to me. Yeah. Just let's go visit Baltimore. Yeah.
I've been here my whole life. And I can say, yes, of course there is crime. But Austin has me spoiled because when I'm in places like New York and Chicago, and my friends have to be like, first of all, close your purse.
Yeah.
Put it to your side. Yes. Stop looking around like a tourist.
Well, and when you remember your basic city and adult skills and you're like, okay, no, I can't go to the bathroom and leave my laptop. Right. You know what I mean? Like be inconvenienced and gather all your stuff up. When you do that, or when you keep your head on a swivel, it's just a very nice place to live. And in that comfort and in that safety, then you need to remember it's not that same experience for somebody else. And if you forget that, then you're a trash person in a brunch hat.
Not a brunch hat. We back to the brunch hat. We are back to the brunch hat.
Be convicted. Be convicted.
Listen, I have to say this. I love this beef that you have with the brunch hat. I'm super into it, honestly.
We just, hey, and if we're not doing the work to earn the brunch and the brunch hat, I want to talk to us about our lives. There's a whole nother world beyond brunch.
We have to stop right there. That's it, DB. Because I don't think anything can top that. It has to be like...
Well, because you can't argue with it. You can't argue with it. And you argue with everything, right?
Do.
You can argue with anything. Okay. It's a good day. It's a good day. Nikki, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You just made my day. You have no idea. You have made my day.
Good.
DB Smith, thanks so much for joining us on this special episode of CityCast Austin, sponsored by Tecovas. We'll have a link to their Austin stores in our show notes. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin.